Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I hope you are all doing very well today. So, continuing with my discussion of films in the Criterion collection that might be worth considering when thinking about what to get for the current Barnes & Noble Criterion sale that's going on right now. So it's now the beginning of July 2019, and so the Criterion collection Barnes & Noble sale is going on, and hopefully you have been having a lot of fun with it. And I know for those who are outside of the United States, I believe that as of now people are able to make orders from outside the United States, and so this is good news as well. So I'm very glad that a lot of people now are seemingly enjoying the Barnes & Noble Criterion collection sale. That's really great. So to continue with my discussion of just recommendations or films to consider, what I'd like to do is now talk to you about the films in the Criterion collection that are made by the person who directed this film. For example, The Wages of Fear. The person that I'm referring to is the filmmaker Henri-Georges Clouzot. So Henri-Georges Clouzot films are very interesting in that they tend to be more towards the mystery thriller. Sometimes they can be a mystery thriller whodunit. Sometimes they can be suspense thrillers. Sometimes they can be horror films. Sometimes they can be very intense dramas. But they are in the range, or are on the they're closer, or they are akin to these sorts of suspense, mystery film, intense melodrama types, suspense horror films perhaps. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to talk to you about just some of the films that are in the Criterion collection directed by this very interesting filmmaker Henri-Georges Clouzot. The first films that I want to speak about are two DVDs that are unfortunately, as of now, out of print. So it's probably not going to be, they're not going to be films that you're going to find at the Barnes & Noble sale because they are out of print, unfortunately. It would be nice to see them back. So if they were ever to return, that would be great. But the first one is this one. This is Spine number 227. And I'm sorry, this is from 1943. This is Le Corbeau. Now, as I say, this is out of print in the Criterion collection, but I believe you can find it through other labels and through other means. And so, and I'm not sure what its status is on streaming. So for those of you who are, for instance, savvy with the Criterion channel, please let me know, and please let us know. And that goes for any other title here too that I talk about. But in any event, Le Corbeau is a film that is quite a kind of mystery thriller film about poison pen letters and the mystery about who is sending these poison pen letters in this small community. It's a very intense film, quite surprising in many respects, and so and also it is a film that has Henri-Georges Clouzot, the filmmaker, encounter some quite a considerable amount, actually, amount of controversy. And so this is a very significant work in the context of Clouzot's career. So Le Corbeau, currently out of print in terms of this Criterion DVD, but definitely available to view through other means. So definitely worth your attention if you can find it. Le Corbeau. Next is from 1947. This is Spine number 193. This is also out of print on this Criterion DVD, so it's not currently in print on a Criterion physical media release. Again, I'm not sure as to its availability through other labels, through other means, but it's definitely worth a check. Quai de Orfevres. So this film is a mystery whodunit, roman policier type of film. And so we have a kind of, we have a mystery, and it's a kind of witty, sparkly, dark, almost uncanny in what it's trying to say, mystery film that is very entertaining, quite entertaining indeed. That's the thing with Clouzot films. I think they are fundamentally so entertaining and really rich. Their intensity levels are sometimes through the roof, of course, but be that as it may, their entertainment levels are also equally quite high, and so this is no exception to that. So 193 Quai des Orfevres. So unfortunately, again, this DVD is out of print, but hopefully you can find it through other means, and also hopefully one day, who knows, it might return to the Criterion Collection physical media catalog. But anyway, fingers crossed, I suppose. And then with those out-of-print titles, let's go now into titles that are currently in print. And these are titles that you could definitely find in the Criterion Collection Barnes & Noble sale right now. Definitely worth your attention if you haven't seen them. First is next one, Spine number 36 from 1953, The Wages of Fear. If you have not seen this film, then please try to avoid spoilers, try to avoid reading synopses of this film beforehand. Try to avoid all that, and I will also try to avoid going into any details when I speak about it now, lest I spoil it because I don't want to do that. Let me say, however, that this is a kind of super intense, suspenseful film. This is tense. This is almost like it's like if I had to explain to someone what tension meant, what suspense meant, I think the best way to explain the meaning would be to say, watch The Wages of Fear, and the feelings that you have during that film are what tension and suspense mean. This is an unbelievably tense film, an unbelievably suspenseful and scary film. And it's riveting, it's entertaining. There are some, this is actually quite true. I find myself just out of breath. Really, I find myself out of breath in certain key moments of this film. It's that scary and that intense. So, The Wages of Fear, again, if you are into, if you don't want this kind of suspenseful thrill ride of film, probably this isn't for you, but for others, this is definitely one to watch if you haven't seen it. Oh boy, this is definitely one to watch if you haven't seen it. So The Wages of Fear, Spine number 36, 1953, for your consideration. Next is Spine number 35. This is from 1955. This is the film Les Diaboliques, or in English, Diabolique. This is, again, another film that if you have not seen, then you should avoid reading any synopses. You should avoid reading any reviews. You should just watch it. This is an intense psychological horror film. So if you're not into scary, suspenseful films, horror films about things that maybe go bump in the night, then this is likely not for you. But for others who are into those sorts of very suspenseful psychological horror films, and if you have not seen Diabolique, if you have not seen Les Diaboliques yet, then what are you waiting for? This is one of the classics in the genre. This is one of the classics in the genre for very good reason, because it is a very, very, very good film. Not just good, excellent, exquisite. It's very tricky. It's very it's very easy to get into, and it is absolutely intensely entertaining and unforgettable and very, very scary. Diabolique. So again, I don't want to go into too much detail, again, for those of you who have not seen it, but if you haven't seen it, and if you're looking for a good, entertaining, fun, thrilling, suspenseful time, oh boy, Diabolique is for you. So I strongly recommend this one, Spine number 35, again from 1955, for your consideration, my dear friends. Next, we have Spine number 960. This is from 1960. This is the film La Verite, which is starring the great Brigitte Bardot. La Verite is, it means the truth, and perhaps that is apropos, or perhaps that is an ironic title, given the subject matter. We're dealing with a French courtroom drama, where it would seem like the objective of the court is to ascertain the truth. Or is it really the objective of the court? I'll leave it to you to decide and to interpret that particular matter, because there is a lot going on, and the ascertaining of truth is at the heart of the struggle of what's going on, and at the heart of this dilemma that is facing the main character, played by Bardot. So this is I would say, a different kind of film from the earlier examples that I showed, Diabolique and The Wages of Fear. But it is certainly not lacking in its intensity level. On the contrary, it is explosive, incredibly explosive, and there are turns in the melodrama that are almost emotionally shattering, at least potentially so. Which means that and also let me say that while there are explosive, shattering turns of melodrama, you might think that that could lend itself possibly to a bit of kind of over-the-topness, a kind of over-the-top, hyper-realized melodramatic sensibility that could make it a bit too corny, perhaps. On the contrary, my friends, the hyper-realized melodrama, at least in certain aspects of the film, are really just another way of saying we're talking about the intense emotional connect or disconnect that can occur between persons. And at the heart of these represented relationships is the character of is the character played by Brigitte Bardot, Dominique Marceau. And so, therefore, my friends, it is all bound by the performance of Bardot, which is spectacular. Bardot's performance here is nothing short of spectacular, I believe. And it is just, there are just moments of sheer intensity as captured on film that are just magnificent. And so, La Verite from 1960, Henri-Georges Clouzot's courtroom drama, and also a melodrama about love and misunderstanding, perhaps. A really, really interesting film. Definitely worth taking a look at. Definitely worth your attention. La Verite, spine number 960, for your consideration, my dear friends. Okay, so that's it as far as the Clouzot films in the Criterion Collection are concerned. So there are other films by Clouzot that do not appear in the Criterion Collection, of course, that you can find on other labels. Arrow Video comes to mind immediately. But as far as the Criterion Collection is concerned, we do have these titles. And so I would say that these three titles in particular, the ones that are currently in print as of the time of the making of this particular video, are definitely worth seeking out. And so I would recommend that you take a look at these, or at least consider them, especially if you are interested in this kind of exciting, suspenseful, entertaining cinema from Henri-Georges Clouzot. Okay, my friends, that's it for now. And until we meet again, please be happy and healthy and well. And please keep on watching a lot of great, great movies. And also, my dear friends, please keep up the great comments. I love reading them. And please let me know and share with me and share with all of us your Barnes & Noble gets and acquisitions, what you bought, what you are planning to get, and anything else you want to share with me or my friends. I'd love to read about it. And also thank you to all of you who have supported this channel throughout the months, and for those of you who have been here since the early days, so to speak. Thank you so much, my dear friends, for your continued support. It means a lot. Thank you also to our new subscribers. It's great to see you. Welcome. It's nice to meet you. My name is Daisuke. And also for those who are watching but who haven't subscribed, please, it would be great for you to join us. Please subscribe. It would be lovely to meet you and to talk with you. Please don't hesitate to leave a comment. I always try my best to respond to the comments, and so if you want to talk with me, please feel free to leave a comment, and I will definitely do my best to get back to you, and to engage with you, and to learn from you, and to hear about your recommendations and suggestions for cinema, and about your love of film, which is ultimately what this is all about, right? It's just sharing our love and passion and ideas and feelings about this thing that we all love and cherish, which is called cinema. Okay, my friends, so with that, please be well, and until we meet again, cheers.